How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the two trades that I took on ES. First was a small loss. I got stopped out, hit my stop loss before the move happened, which was unfortunate. Second trade of the day, I came back later in the afternoon and took a scalp to make me positive overall on the day. So take a look at both of those in just a second. Right now we're looking at the 15-minute chart. A few of the things I was watching, we have the high and low from Friday, marked by the green and red levels. I was watching this zone between like 143 to 154. Couldn't break out of it. Kind of traded within it for a big part of the day. And then I had this channel that I drew during the day that was from Friday's kind of power hour. So through the close, pre-market, and into the morning of today. So if we're looking at that, this is a 5,000 tick chart. If we're looking at that, market opened right in here. So opened pretty strong, came up and tested the top of that zone. Then we started rejecting down as we came down and formed this hammer here. I was watching that we were forming a series of higher highs, higher lows, right? So we have, this is a higher low. This is a slightly higher high than here, higher low, higher high, coming down into another higher low. I drew this channel, and after we printed this hammer on the 5,000 tick, I entered a long position here. So I'm on back out so we can see the 1,000 tick chart as well. Get a full look at this. So where are we here? This is in here. So I set my entry above 140 right here once we bounced and broke. From there, once we started pushing up, I placed my stop loss initially below this swing low here. And my target was 152, so right up in here. I didn't want to go too greedy and try to hit high a day. So I kind of picked the next level under on the 1,000 tick chart, which was right around that 152. And then the stop was below this low. Once we started pushing up, I started moving my stop up to the point where I had it below these kind of two wicks here, right at 138. And when we pushed down here, it stopped me out by a quarter of a tick. So I got stopped out on this pullback here. And where my real mistake was made was not re-entering the trade. If we take a look, we're still within that channel. We're still holding that trend line. We also printed another hammer on the 5,000 tick right in here as well, and then came and got a second retest after that. So I was a little concerned that we came up and rejected off the top of this zone, but I should have felt confident enough to re-enter because that was another really nice entry signal right here. Once we held that for a second time and had hammers on both time frames there at that level. So that would have been really solid. Trade did eventually play out if he held it. I mean, I think it wicked perfectly off 152 here and then broke above it briefly here. That would have been I was shooting for 12 point take profit, and I had like a 3.5 stop loss that I moved up to be about like a 2.5 stop loss. So could have done a little better managing that one, or I guess managing it was all right, but the re-entry would have been really nice there, especially watching that play out. So that was the first trade of the day, and a small loss, just a single contract for a couple points. Second trade of the day, I came back and around noon, getting closer to that power hour, and we had been trading within this range all day, right? So we opened up here, made a low, tested that high, tested that low, tried to test that high again, and we were coming back down. So I was just playing the range really, that we were trading within this kind of 137 to like 152, we'll call it. And I saw us coming down here. We looked like we were selling off pretty well. You see the volume coming in on this top candle here, bearish engulfing. And then we were making our way down. One thing that I noticed is we had a level here that we'd been bouncing off around like 142. Very evident. 1000 tick chart, you can see we hit it here, and here. How many times we wicked off that area. So I was watching to see if we could break this swing low, and then once we break, target the low of this range down here. So I entered a short position when we broke that 142. I guess it was right in here. Stop loss was above this candle that broke that, so about 144. So a 2-point stop targeting this swing low here, which was 6-point take profit. Once we broke that level, it dropped really fast, so that was about as easy of a scalp as you could get, really. But was watching, kind of assuming that once we broke below this resistance that we might, move to the bottom of that range. I didn't necessarily expect the velocity of that move, but that worked out really well, and that was enough to offset that loss earlier in the day. So, ideally you want to enter kind of tops and bottoms of the range. Right here is an absolutely beautiful, right here is an absolutely beautiful example of trading in a range, right, from pre-market all the way through today. And we break out of that range and aggressively recover back into that range. That move, just that false breakout of the range you think you're on. I mean, you get that initial move when you get the break out of the range. Very aggressive sell-off when that break happens. But prices, it's balanced when you're in a range. Buyers and sellers are kind of agreeing upon the price. There's not like a huge imbalance to one side or the other. So when you do get this imbalance here, you get this, sellers take over and push us out of this range that we've established since before the market even was open this morning. Seeing it revert and get back into that range, that's a beautiful reversal. Something that you can see on NQ and ES did the exact same pattern, but on the 1000 tick chart, just making a lower low and then breaking above that swing high right there, break, reclaim, and then it just ripped all the way pretty much to test that high of the range. So crazy move, like a 30-point move out of that reversal and reclaiming back into that range. So that was one I should have stuck around and maybe checked out power hour, because that is a beautiful reversal and kind of reversion back into that range. But that was all I have for you today. Things are looking a little different. I'm trading on Tradovate. Reason why, because I was really not going to do it now that I'm trying to demonstrate. Here we go. I can just click on the screen and place orders, and it's beautiful. I can place them. I can place a buy order. This is live. I can adjust it. Oh, I want to place it down here. Cancel it. Wonderful. So it just makes it much easier to manage my position. I can watch, have multiple charts up, get really precise entries and exits on everything, because I can just do it based off technical analysis. So that's been nice. Today was the first day, so there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, I'm sure, as I get used to it. The charting and the tools aren't necessarily as nice as Thinkorswim or TradingView. Ultimately, it would be the future move to hook it all up into TradingView, because their charts are clean. But this will do for now. It's not the greatest charting that I've used. In fact, it's one of the worst probably in terms of the tools. But it does make it a lot easier to trade off of. So I think that kind of outweighs the clunkiness of some of it. Anyways, thank you for watching. That's all I got. I do trade live Monday through Friday. I've been out last week, but we're back. So following weeks, we're going to be here every day. Appreciate it if you stop by if you feel so inclined. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.